Ring season is in full swing here at LakePoint Sports with the 16 U's now taking center stage at the Baseball Village, a tournament that gives us a glimpse into so many names that we'll see here later this summer at the Prep Baseball Feature Games. I'm Cory McCartney, welcoming you into LakePoint Sports, where it's a Champions Weekend, the IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers Weekend to be exact, and campus is absolutely bustling from the Champions Center to Publix Fields. We've got you covered at the Baseball Village, where we'll have a pool play matchup for you with Building Champions versus Wladyka baseball. That's slated for 12:40 first pitch, and I'll be joined along the way by Grayson, Rosen, with some more guests expected to stop by here at our studio. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for this one, presented by the Windscreen Factory. Building Champions will lead off with left fielder Grant Westball. Then it's Andrew Maltzby, the third baseman. Cameron Miller, the DH, hitting third. Hitting fourth is Carter Taldo, the center fielder. Hitting fifth is Drake Blassie, the right fielder. Hitting sixth is Warren Robertson, the first baseman. Hitting seventh is Drew Pittman, the shortstop. Hitting eighth is catcher J.T. Moorhead. Aiden Acosta, the extra hitter, hitting ninth. Tucker Gammett, the second baseman, hitting 10th. And Owen Hughes, the left-hander, will be on the mound. For Wladyka baseball, they'll be led off by shortstop Aiden Costello. Then it's DH Baxter Hilton, extra hitter Mitchell Levinson, then Jeffrey Polino, the catcher, Luke Kosoff, the first baseman, Gabe Carter, the right fielder, Ryan Lemanowitz, the third baseman, hitting seventh. Hitting eighth is Daniel Stutzky. Hitting ninth is center fielder John Fiore, Alex Affronti, the extra hitter, hitting 10th, and Rowan Trapicchio, the second baseman, hitting 11th. They'll have Patrick Bendrit on the mound. Again, eyeing a around 12:40 first pitch for you in this one. As I mentioned, a jam-packed weekend here, the IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers Weekend. GSSA Boys Team Camp at the Champions Center all weekend long. Next Gen The Show at Publix Fields all weekend. Rallies, Red White Rally, that's a Sunday-only event. So a lot of great things happening here on campus. By the way, did you know guys are playing hacky sack again? Let's take a look at this. Building Champions busted it out here pregame. These guys are rolling along. They got up to 11. I'm told the record for the team is around like 28. So I didn't really realize we were even still doing this anymore. It's been about 30 years since I've seen guys playing hacky sack, but Building Champions trying to get together. This was the longest run. They got up to 11 on this one, but you see the misfortune there as they fell apart. And we just wrapped up the 15U National Championship won by the Atlanta Braves scout team. It was a stacked field, included a number of the nation's top-ranked players. In 2028, Mason Sevet out of Cedar Crest High School in Pennsylvania was among them, the 8th-ranked right-handed pitcher in the nation. Sevet caught up with Grayson Rosen for this edition of Extra Bases. In the business, we call this a callback because we just did a tease for you on a piece of content. Now we get to see Mason Sevet team up with Grayson Rosen for this edition of Extra Bases.
Today we're going Extra Bases with Mason Sevet out of Cedar Crest High School in Pennsylvania. He is the number 34 player in the nation, the number 8 right-handed pitcher, and the number 2 player in Pennsylvania in the class of 2028. Mason, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you, man?
Doing good, and I'm really excited. He's already pitched this weekend, and I want to actually start by talking about your pitching. We saw you a couple months ago, late March, in the Pennsylvania preseason ID, and you topped out at about 86-1 with the fastball.
Yeah.
Then, just a couple of weeks ago, you topped out at 90 with the fastball. What has been the key to this huge uptick in velo over such a short time frame?
So really just like staying consistent with lifting in season and just like throwing more because I just like a lot of long toss and stuff like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. And you're not just a pitcher. You pair it with an elite bat. You had a 102.7 exit velo at the same showcase.
Yeah.
And I have to mention, you're also a tight end on the football field. Is there the intention of staying a two-way player throughout high school and staying a two-sport athlete as well?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
I also play basketball, too. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
You do it all.
Yeah.
You really do it all. Well, so what is the idea? I know it's early in your high school career, but is that the plan for college as well, is to try and stay in all the sports that you can?
The plan for college is definitely to play baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the main focus?
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
I love it. So let's go ahead and start the lightning round as we head here to second. What was the first ever baseball team you played on?
Ooh, probably my local rec T-ball team.
Okay. What is the best song in your playlist right now?
Baby Birkin by Gunna.
All right. Who was your favorite athlete growing up? Any sport?
I'd probably say Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. Okay. I always forget. Some of you guys are so young. Like, Judge doesn't feel like I was growing up to Judge. What is your World Series prediction this year?
Ooh, probably I kind of want to take the Phillies.
Okay. So Phillies and Yankees playing each other. You said
maybe.
you're a Yankees fan.
Yeah, but Phillies looking pretty good right now.
Okay, that's the pick. And my final question, obviously you kind of do it all like we said. What would be a better feeling? Striking out the side, hitting a home run, or catching a touchdown pass?
Hitting a home run.
Hitting a home run. Okay,
Yeah.
Well, you can catch him probably doing all three at Cedar Crest for the next couple of years, and then it's off to college and bigger and better things for Mason. Thank you for your time today, dude.
Of course. Thank you.
Great stuff there from Grayson. Of course, you'll be able to find that on all of our social media channels, so go back and check that out if you want to. Now, as part of the IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers weekend, Jeff's Bagel Run has been around campus handing out samples. They started in Florida with their first location in Cory in 2021. Some bagels, obviously some truly unique spreads, coffee, treats, and drinks. They are always boiled, never toasted. They are a LakePoint Sports partner. I caught up with Tyler Yankoski pregame. He was here in our studio. Let's go inside a little bit more information here on Jeff's Bagel Run. Now joined by Tyler Yankoski from Jeff's Bagel Run, LakePoint Sports partner, and one of our premier caterers. Tyler, man, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Cory. Thanks for having me.
You guys part of an extremely busy Champions weekend here for us. Tell us about your involvement with LakePoint Sports and why this was an important partnership for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So LakePoint obviously built on quality and excellence and delivering a phenomenal customer experience, and I think it's important to have partners that share the same values. So we at Jeff Bagel Run saw the benefit immediately to deliver a premium product to your customers, and excited to be partners.
Tell me about the growth of the company. Started in Florida, now 31 locations, and the reception you guys are getting, and specifically here in Ackworth.
Yeah, absolutely. So started from a single location in Orlando, Florida with Jeff and his wife, baking bagels by themselves right after COVID, and grew to have a pretty intense cult following in Orlando. So they just started franchising not too long ago, and we put up the Ackworth store in December, and the experience has been phenomenal. Customers welcomed us with open arms, and they love the product, and we've got regulars and favorite combinations already, so really excited about it.
I know people from the Northeast will swear that you can't get those same bagels somewhere else. So what makes Jeff's Bagel Run different?
Yeah, so the bagels are made from scratch, from flour and yeast and pretty much raw ingredients. They're proofed overnight in the refrigerator so the yeast can build up and get you that nice puffy bagel. And then the differentiator is really that all the bagels are kettle boiled before they're baked, so it gives it that nice crispy outer texture and the nice fluffy interior. So
the spreads menu you guys have is insane. Cake batter, hot sauce, those traditional like chive and onions and whipped butter. What's the most popular spread that you guys have on the menu?
Most popular is probably going to be the veggie, chive and onion, strawberry. Those are kind of the staples, but the banana pudding is a sleeper. It's one of the best, one of my favorites. It's got Nilla wafers and real bananas in it, and we also do seasonal too. So right now we're featuring a cucumber and dill. We'll also have a elote corn for the summer.
Do you guys get in the lab and kind of mix and match them yourself just to see, like, all right, what's it going to look like if you put this one with that one?
Yeah, there's some forbidden combinations, but Really, the customers are the most creative. They come in and they'll put something that we've never even thought of together. I think we had a customer get a Asiago everything bagel with cinnamon sugar cream cheese. And you wouldn't think it was great, but I tried it and I was like, wow, what a flavor combination.
Do you guys approach it almost like, so if you go to a winery and they say, okay, you pair this with this, do you guys if someone says, I really want that bagel, do you guys recommend spreads?
Yeah, absolutely. We got some bagel sommeliers in there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, if it's your first time coming in, I absolutely recommend asking what the cashier likes. They're always going to give you a great combination, and there's really unlimited combinations with the amount of options that we have.
So I've seen on the website you can apply to be a brand ambassador. Is there a certain amount? Do you have to eat a whole bunch of bagels and have a punch card, or how does that process work?
Well, it starts with one.
Okay.
But if you've got some backup bagels in your freezer, you're halfway there already. But in all seriousness, we love to partner with people who have an influence in the community or social following. So we'll have regular tastings for new products, new cream cheeses, new drinks that we're featuring. And, if you're one of those brand ambassadors, we invite you to those events and you get to try all the new products, share it on your social. And, it's been really great so far.
Well, for more information, go to jeffsbagelrun.com, or you can find them across social media at Jeff's Bagel Run. Tyler, man, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Cory. Lovely to be here.
So there you go. Check out Jeff's Bagel Run here locally in Ackworth. Make sure you check that out again. Some really interesting combinations there with the spreads and whatnot. So I'm going to have to make my way over to that location. Now, the on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience, and that includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Located here on campus, Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMan, Proteus, and more. Visit the Bubble or sign up now at curvetestcenter.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Now, we recently unveiled our first class of LakePoint athletes, part of our LakePoint athlete program. We're really excited to bring you this partnership as we will take elite-level players, team them up with some really cherished brands for us, and be able to create some really great content. We had our signing day, a really cool event for the players. Gino Goralski, outfielder, Austin Tambora, another outfielder, and Dom Rossi, a catcher/pitcher. And we put them to the test, asking them who they would put on their baseball Mount Rushmore.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi.
I have to go Acuna, Chris Hale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones,
It's like the players are on the field going through their warm-ups here. Again, going to bring you this matchup between building champions and Wladyka baseball. We had this slated for around a 12:40 first pitch. Looks like we might be a little bit delayed there. So we're going to bring back up our starting lineups and leave you there until our action commences here in pool play, the 16U National Championship.
2, 1.
Welcome into our action. This is the 16U National Championship from LakePoint Sports. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. This, of course, part of the IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers Weekend, another jam-packed weekend here on campus. We are proud to bring you this matchup between Building Champions and Wladyka Baseball. Wladyka Baseball out of New Jersey. Building Champions comprised of players out of Kansas and Missouri. And speaking of Kansas, the #1 player in Kansas in the class of 2027, Grant Westfall, steps in to lead things off for Building Champions. And Grayson, this is going to be an exciting one, and there's no more exciting player in this matchup than the one we're watching right now.
Yeah, there might not be a more exciting player on campus this weekend than Grant Westfall. I mean, it's exactly where you'd like to see things start for a big game today.
This is a loaded Building Champions roster.
Oh, that's
Westfall
crushed.
gets a hold of that one. 98 off the bat of Grant Westfall.
That's so crushed.
He is stopping at second base. A ground rule double for Grant Westfall, and just like that, the #4 player in the nation making some noise to start things off for Building Champions.
Yeah, as expected. I mean, a guy like that is never going to go through a game and just be quiet.
He didn't even give me a chance to get into the
No.
fact that there are 16 ranked players in Kansas and Missouri on this Building Champions squad. 3 nationally ranked players led by Westfall. 5 2025 future gamers on this team.
Yeah.
So these guys will be well represented come the end of July for the biggest underclass or uncommitted event in the nation here taking place at LakePoint Sports July 24th through the 28th. Go from Westfall to Andrew Maltzby. Maltzby, by the way, is locked in for the future games. Staley High School, Missouri. He's the 9th-ranked catcher, 9th-ranked position player overall, in Missouri in 27. He's the 2nd-ranked catcher, 35th-ranked catcher in the nation. 6 foot, 175-pounder. See a little bit more on Andrew later in our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight.
Yeah, Grant Westfall got us off to such a hot start. We haven't even introduced who's on the mound for Wladyka, and that's Patrick Bendert or Bendert?
Patrick Bendert from Cranford High School in New Jersey. Ranked as a third baseman. He's the 7th-ranked third baseman in the Garden State, 117 overall, but also got a nice line here on the mound for him. He's up to 80, as you see, with the fastball. Westfall taking off for third. Bender also has a changeup in the 73 to 75 range, a curveball that's around 70, and a slider 67 to 68.
Building Champions definitely got that kind of lineup that we talk about where all these guys play together, all these guys know each other. This is almost a mirror image of the team that was here last year for the 15U National Championships. And I'm not really surprised. I mean, this is just an organization that kind of just does this every year. Oh,
Maltzby gets that down. Yeah, dropped in by the right fielder as Westfall makes it in for the first run of the game. So Andrew Maltzby's got himself an RBI. Building Champions has themselves a 1-0 lead.
Kind of an awkward slide there into second base, but gets in there safely. Pretty close play there. Good work just recovering out there in right field, but tough play to try and make.
So that'll bring up Cameron Miller out of Nixa High School.
Miller, another nationally ranked guy that's in this lineup. 394 overall, the 26th ranked third baseman in the nation.
He's the 10th ranked player in Missouri. A lot of bordering states, the guys don't really have a lot of good vibes amongst one another. I've always been curious what that's like for Kansas and Missouri.
I mean, I know they argue over the teams a lot,
That's
even
true.
though all of them are in Missouri.
Two-0 count here to Miller. 6'3", 165-pound righty. He's got the Ronald Acuna-esque little setup there.
Yeah.
Bender misses, makes it 3-0. It's just a tough lineup to navigate, as I mentioned, the number of ranked players in this squad. And these guys have been itching. They played Thursday against Canes Midwest Gold. Their Friday game was rained out. So they had a day off, Friday, an unexpected day off. And they already lead 1-0 here in the first.
And a strike down the middle. Set up 3-1.
Miller will be followed by Carter Taldo.
See what Bender's got here.
3-1 bounces. You're going to have him at the corners. He's going to hold it third. Miller rounded first, and he'll retreat. Bender maybe just a little amped up here. You get Grant Westfall jumping on you early, and I'm sure it's easy to try to make up everything with one pitch, and he's just going to have to regroup here and get Wladyka baseball back on track, already trailing 1-0.
Yeah, really tough kind of way to start. Like you mentioned, the Westfall ground rule double, and then you have this dropped attempt at a diving catch, and that ends up bringing these guys around. So a lot of things to look for as he tries to navigate his way out of this inning.
This will be Carter Taldo, Olathe West, Kansas, 4th-ranked outfielder in Kansas, 15th overall. Runs a 6.8 260. He jumps on that one, sends it into left field. It's going to be caught for an out, but not before another run scores for Building Champions. Make it 2-0 here in the first as Taldo gets a sacrifice fly.
Yeah, you can't blame him for jumping on the first pitch. Obviously, we saw what Westfall did early on, trying to make something happen. And right there, you made something happen, though you didn't find yourself on base. You did a job.
Now we'll see Drake Blassie out of Mays High School in Kansas. He's the 6th-ranked outfielder in Kansas, 25th overall. Was here in 2022 for the junior feature games. That's a strike. Bender with that arm sleeve on his right throwing arm. He's got an 0-1 count.
Checks back over to first, and he's safe. Interested to see how Building Champions kind of stay with their approach throughout this. You already have the 2 early runs. I know the scoreboard says 1-0, but I think they just didn't make a note of that. Westfall scoring
It just
earlier.
happened so fast.
Yeah, it did. It did happen really quickly. But it is 2-0, and you really just got to kind of stay in your approach and try and figure a way out, through these games. I mean, on Wednesday, we witnessed a game where it was really just about, like, hold on, just, like, let it happen now after a huge first inning. So if Building Champions, kind of follow suit in that, it's really just about how they continue to go from there, and obviously, of course, how Wladyka plays it out.
Yeah, you mentioning our 15U National Championship game, Atlanta Braves scout team rolled 16-2 in that one over the East Coast Sox, and just raced out to an 8-0 lead in the first inning of that one. Just dominant performance out of that Atlanta Braves scout team squad. Comes a 1-1 to Blassie. And that one goes down the left side foul. Blassie exit velos north of 95 miles an hour, also runs a 6.93 60. Built like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's got some muscle on him, you can tell. See if we can put some muscle on a ball here and make something happen with 2 outs.
It's intent on keeping Miller at bay. After Blassie, Warren Robertson due up next. The 1-2. Nearly took our camera out with that one.
Can't be having that.
No,
not today.
Not today. As you can see, our scoreboard not operational there in right field. And typically these broadcasts, we also bring you an outfield camera with the look in. Had a lightning storm here in Emerson, Georgia last night, so it took out 2 scoreboards and a couple of the cameras. So unfortunately, we will not have that secondary look for you in over the pitcher's shoulder in this one. So we'll do the best we can with what we've got, because we really wanted to bring you this matchup and a couple talented squads, and certainly, as we've already seen, Building Champions with some firepower as they have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Bender still really, really intent on keeping that runner over at first base, despite the fact that he had a 2-strike count 2 times when he picked over with 2 outs. Let's see if he's still worried about the runner, if he's going to try and... No, he's still worried about the runner over there.
Well, meanwhile, Jeffrey Polino, the catcher, and Drake Blasi await another 2-2. You liking the home plate umpire? Now they're wearing gray today.
Yeah, it's an interesting look I haven't seen before.
Blasi gets hit by that one. I don't know, saying not so fast.
Calling that a foul ball?
I think he's just so jacked up that it just hit off of his shoulder, and he thought it hit off of the bat.
Maybe. I don't know. They sent the runner back, so I guess they're going to call that one a foul ball.
All right, so Blasi steps back in for another 2-2. When you're carved out of granite, it just bounces right off of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. I can't relate, but now he's going to take his walk.
All right, so now Blasi is headed down to first, and we'll have runners at first and second as Warren Robertson steps to the plate. Another 2025 future gamer, 6'3", 194-pounder, outfielder and right-handed pitcher out of Rockhurst High School in Missouri. He's the second-ranked outfielder in Missouri, 11th overall in the class. Exit velos of 101 out of Robertson.
Yeah, he's not the guy you want to run into when you're having some trouble and you just saw a guy foul your pitches off really easily throughout that at-bat. This is not the guy you want to come up against if you're going to put something over the plate.
So Prep Baseball president Sean Duncan and their vice president of scouting Shooter Hunt like to say you look at a frame, you dream on a frame and think about how much bigger that guy can get. A 6'3", 194-pounder in Robertson. There's certainly college coaches that are going to see that frame and believe that maybe they could put another 20 pounds on that, and he's already pushing triple-digit exit velos.
I'm sure those coaches at Rockhurst in Missouri were so happy when he stepped foot on campus freshman year.
Well, he is poised to do some damage here with runners at first and second. See what Bender gives him to work with. He's had a little bit of trouble locating. He's already given up 2 hits thus far.
It is a clear count, not 3-2.
Otherwise, we got Warren Robertson playing with a stacked deck here.
See what Bender's got to open it up.
Robertson jumps on the first pitch, sends that into left field. Runner's going to head off all the way to home, and Warren Robertson's got himself an RBI. Building Champions are now up 3-0 here in the first.
Yeah, great stuff from Warren Robertson. They're finding out very quickly that Bender's going to put the ball over the plate. Everybody that has seen success has seen it early in these at-bats, and that right there is a prime example of it.
Yeah, they are jumping all over Patrick Bender here. That's the third hit. Drew Pittman steps in now, Blue Valley Southwest High School in Kansas. Bender trying to get his way out of this inning. He's already done 18 pitches. It feels like more than 18 pitches.
Yeah.
Pittman shows bunt, gets that down. Bender has it, throws to first. Both runners will advance, though. There was just one out.
Okay.
The only out thus far was Carter Taldo on that sacrifice fly.
Okay. Well, now we've got the 2 runs on the board.
Now we have should be 3
Okay.
runs. Should be 3-0.
Okay, so we're getting closer.
Yeah,
we're getting closer.
Inching closer to reality. So now JT Moorhead. Moorhead from St. Michael the Archangel School in Missouri. Ninth-ranked catcher in that state, 65th overall. Runs a 6.86. Pretty ridiculous speed. Yeah, ridiculous speed out of the catcher position, though.
Yeah, a lot of speed just across this entire lineup. But, yeah, at catcher in particular, you just don't see that kind of number.
5'9", 170-pounder. JT will be behind the plate when Building Champions takes the field. He's got a pop time down to 1.85. He's got a 2-0 count now. Bender fires, puts that in play. Third baseman has it, throws in time. That'll bring an end to the inning. But Building Champions has taken a 3-0 lead. We'll see if Wladyka baseball can respond when we head to the bottom of the first. You're watching the 16U National Championship.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. The kind you want to stay up with all night.
Andrew Maltzby came through with a hit in his first trip to the plate for Building Champions as they have taken a 3-0 lead in our game of the day from the 16U National Championship. And Maltzby is our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight, the 9th-ranked player in Missouri in 2027, 35th at his position nationally. Boasts a pop time down to 1.83. We all love catchers who run. Maltzby does that. A 6.78 in the 60. He and this talented Building Champions team going to be a tough out in this event. We'll get our first look at Wladyka baseball as our game rolls along on the mound for Building Champions. In this one, we mentioned the number of players that they have en route to the 2025 feature games. And they will have another here on the mound in Owen Hughes out of Rockhurst, the second-ranked left-handed pitcher in Missouri, 14th overall. Fastball up to 89 as a changeup in 77, curveball 74 to 76, a slider 77 to 78, and he will be facing a Wladyka baseball lineup that's led off by shortstop Aiden Costello. Then it's Baxter Hilton, the DH, and Mitchell Levinson, the extra hitter. Grayson, paramount here that Wladyka baseball finds a way to respond. We saw Grant Westfall set the stage with a ground rule double to lead off the game, and that's put some pressure on this Wladyka lineup.
Yeah, and pressure that really makes things tough to start the game with. I mean, you really don't want to be giving up those early runs because it just kind of feels like you're battling from behind for all 7 innings, and you just do not want to be in that position. So right now it's just about playing your game. Play it slow. You don't need 3 runs here, but you'd like them over the course of the game.
The biggest gift any starting pitcher can get is a lead before they've even taken the mound, and you take a guy who is already looks like he's ready to deal in Owen Hughes, and that just makes him that much more dangerous. I mean, he's ready. Like, look, he is already set up as Costello
he's ready to go.
Goes through his machinations there outside the batter's box. Misses to make it 1-2. Costello, 6 foot, 173-pounder out of Passaic Valley. Put that one in play over top of Hughes' glove. His shortstop has it, throws in time for the out. Good work defensively by Drew Pittman at short.
Yeah, had to kind of come up at that ball and field it kind of like neck high, chest high, and then still make the right throw. That was good work.
So with Costello out off the ground out, here's Baxter Hilton. Hilton Seton Hall Prep. He's the 27th ranked right-handed pitcher in New Jersey, 134 overall. He's DH today. Now a 1-1 count.
Yeah, Hughes' profile has him up to 88.9 with that fastball. We've been seeing him in the 88 area.
Well, Sean Duncan likes to tell me that during the feature games, every time a guy hits 90 for the first time, it's like It's a Wonderful Life and a bell rings. So they're I think maybe working on a siren that goes off.
Okay.
That way all the coaches here in attendance
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, know that you better put your attention squarely on the arm going on right now because we have run the 90-mile-an-hour siren.
Well, I'm sure Owen Hughes will be hitting the gym a little bit before he gets to future games in July.
That dribbler makes it 2-2. Another guy that you just think about how much more he can add to that frame.
Yeah.
Hughes, 6 foot, 165 pounds.
Yeah, and a fellow high school teammate of Warren Robertson.
We have a B in studio with us.
Yes, we
so
do.
This is
I think
we
just got
typically
caught on
don't.
camera. There it is
we
on
typically
camera.
don't have a live studio audience, but every once in a while we do get some of the insect nature, and do have that bee buzzing around here, waiting for our Arrow Exterminator Champions weekend, so we can take care of all these bugs.
Some weak foul
3-2.
ball there. Let's see.
First
Stay in
baseman
play.
gets underneath it.
Good
He
work,
makes the
Warren
catch.
Robertson.
Yeah, Warren Robertson making some more noise. Already got himself an RBI single, now the second out of the inning. Mitchell Levinson's turn. Seton Hall Prep 27. Levinson, extra hitter. Wladyka hitting 11. Building Champions hitting 10. Scoreboard's still not caught up. 3-0 is the lead for Building Champions. That's a strike.
You'd really like to see something still happen here. Oh, that was 89.8. Real close to that 90 mark. Real close to the 90 mark for Owen Hughes. But you would really like to see something from Wladyka get going here in this first inning, even just getting somebody on base, just to kind of feel like, all right, we've got the groundwork here for something that could happen later in this game.
Just send a word up to our scoreboard operator, see if we can get that changed to 3-0. That one is down the line. Is he going to hold at first? He will, in fact, hold at first. So Levinson coming through with a 2-out single, and Wladyka baseball in business.
Yeah, Owen Hughes dialing up the velo, but good work right there. And Levinson just pokes one inside the – that was an awesome toss of the bat right there. But Levinson just pokes one inside the foul line and gets past the outstretched arms of Warren Robertson for a single. And that's exactly what I was talking about. You just need a little bit of a confidence boost here in the first. Even if you still get out and you don't score a run here, at least you know, all right, these guys can crack into a, whatever's going on.
Jeffrey Polino, who has been behind the plate for Wladyka, now has an 0-1 count here against Hughes. Make that 0-2 off that swing. Polino, 5'10", 180-pounder from St. Mary's High School. Swings through that, goes down on strikes. Building Champions continue to lead 3-0, despite what the scoreboard's telling you momentarily. We'll be back with more. You're watching the 16 National Championships from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. 16U National Championship coverage. This, of course, part of the IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers Weekend across campus. I mentioned during our pregame show how much we've got going on, along with the 16U National Championship here at Baseball Village. GHSA Boys Team Camp going on at the Champion Center all weekend. Next Gen, the show, is at Publix Fields all weekend. Rallies. Volleyball's Red, White, and Rally is Sunday only at the Beach Pavilion. So much going on. I mean, I think we seemingly say some version of this every weekend, but you got to really work to find a parking spot right now.
Yes, you do. I had to really search today, but still no reason not to come out here and enjoy some baseball, enjoy some 7-on-7, something that we don't get around here too often, only a couple times a year. So it's fun to check that stuff out. And then, of course, this is a huge, huge basketball event for anybody to come check out.
Yeah, word is this is the best of the GHSA team camps is this weekend. So no offense to the previous ones that we've had here this month, but this, I'm told, is the crown jewel of these events. So make sure you get out here if you have a chance to come and check that out.
About to get things rolling.
This will be Aiden Acosta for Building Champions. Aiden Bishop Carroll, Kansas, the third-ranked first baseman in Kansas, number 32 overall. He's got exit velos around 98.5. Bat speed north of 75 miles an hour at 6'2", 190.
He's going to try and just keep things rolling here for building champions. You'd love to just continue to add on in the run column.
There, our scoreboard now says 3-0. And Acosta gets hit by the first offering there from Bendert. He will make his way down to first, and that'll bring up Tucker Gamet, the last batter in the order.
We got one of our favorite things right there, an exit velo read on a hit by pitch, 36.7.
I wish we would have got that when it hit Drake Blasi.
Yeah. Or didn't hit, I guess. Yeah. Regardless, we'll see what we get out of Tucker Gamet here.
Bendert does not like base runners.
No, he's dead set on getting a pickoff out there at first base.
Well, Liberty North Missouri's Tucker Gamet is ready to roll. 5'10", 155-pounder. Watches that miss for ball one.
I'll give Bendert some credit here. Building Champions is getting some huge leads over there at first. It's a relatively tame lead there, but you'll see that secondary that he gets, and they get down there. There's also a fast squad, like we mentioned earlier.
And that may be playing into Bender making that throw over to first. It's not that he's having an issue with them having a base runner. He just doesn't like these leads these guys are getting.
Yeah, exactly. You got to kind of keep them on their toes.
1-1 count now to Gamet. After this, it's top of the order in Grant Westfall.
There goes the runner.
And he will be in there safely with a stolen base as he gets away from the shortstop cutting over.
Yeah, good work by Acosta, just picking the right one. Got to be careful with how many times you've already seen Bender pick off. You got to really be selective on when you're going to go.
All right, still a 2-1 count here to Gamet.
Good pickoff move right there. Just barely missed the mark to get the tag down. You don't really see that too often. You don't see the second base pickoff as often as you'd think.
A 2-1 count to Gamet.
Goes back
another
to
version
back.
of it. Oh, that one's going into center field.
Oh, that could be.
Runner's taken off for third, and he will hold there. So Aiden Acosta on the second attempt on the pickoff goes into center field, and he makes his way to third base.
Yeah, this is the kind of advantage that having speed across your entire lineup gives you. Obviously, just the fact that you can get around the bases is fantastic, but you also have to keep that in mind as a pitcher. They know how these lineups are built. They kind of have a scouting report, sort of put together, not quite like the MLB level, but they know there's fast guys on the base path. You got to be careful at all times.
Gamet fouls that off. You talk about not seeing the pickoff move to second base too often. I've thought about this a few times. Could you potentially step off and almost do like a back shovel pass instead of making the turnaround? It takes so much time to turn around.
Yeah.
If a guy could
he
step
just doesn't
off
get there
and,
fast
and
enough.
flick, could you do
I think
that?
he just wouldn't get there fast enough.
I'd be interested to know what the differential would be. If you're making your entire body turn around, Gamet sends that to first base. He'll tag there, get the out. Runner will hold at third.
Yeah.
But if the amount of time it takes for you to spin around and throw, as opposed to stepping off and making some kind of Patrick Mahomes-esque shovel pass.
I don't know. Let's get the Mythbusters on.
There you go, or sports science.
Yeah. Rest in peace to John Brankins.
That's right. That was always a fun watch, too, by the way.
It was.
Back to the top of the order in Grant Westfall. Caught up with Grant pregame for In the Spotlight. You'll see this upcoming week across our social channels. He's already got a ground rule double. Fourth-ranked player in the class of 2027. Watches that for ball one. Talked to his mom afterwards and blown away in the progress and composure he now has made in terms of his interview skills. This is a guy who's ready for the limelight.
Yeah, he's primed to be in it, that's for sure. A special player.
His brother Grady, signee for Texas. See if he winds up in Austin or if the MLB draft changes that. Comes the 1-1 to Westfall. Ropes that foul. Makes it 1-2.
We need everybody to be conscious of our camera today.
That's right. Yeah, if that one happens to go out, we'll be reporting back with hand-drawn images from the games. It'll be all audio at that point. You'll just have us in studio. We'll be relaying the plays.
After they're relayed to us.
That's right. 1-2. Westfall rips that down the third base side foul.
My favorite thing so far about Bender, I know he's given up a couple runs here and given up a couple of hits, but he just hits the zone. I mean, he's making guys foul off pitches, which is huge. You haven't really seen him get into a compromised position too many times in these bats. It's just he's putting things over the plate, and guys are finding ways to make things happen.
Bender with the 1-2.
There it is.
Swings through that, and Westfall goes down on strikes for the second out. And you could also make the argument, if you're a pitcher who, when you're putting in the zone, guys are making hard contact, maybe you try to stay off speed and maybe dance around the strike zone a little bit. Bender's staying on course. And this is who he is as a pitcher. And eventually he feels like things are going to win out, and it just did against one of the best bats in this tournament.
Just missed on that one right there to open him up with the breaking ball, but still got that runner on third that you got to be thinking about. Let's see what he's got here as Andrew Maltzby tries to make something happen with 2 outs. Huge RBI opportunity.
Gets away from his catcher. Runner will take off, make it 4-0 on the wild pitch.
Yeah, some heads-up base running across that trip around the base paths for Aiden Acosta.
Well, Acosta's score now 4-0 is the lead for Building Champions. Got 3 hits in total. Andrew Maltzby at the plate with a 2-0 count. That's in for a strike, makes it 2-1. Unrelenting, I think, would be the optimum way to surmise this Building Champions lineup. Look how close to the plate Maltzby sets up.
I was just noticing that. He's got foot, pretty much half his foot over the white.
I will say, when we typically have that over the shoulder shot from the pitcher, we don't necessarily get a sense of how close the batter is to the plate. But Andrew Maltzby is absolutely crowding the plate. He's got a 2-2 count.
Got an outside setup from the catcher. Oh, that one's hit
well. He jumps on that 89.5 off his bats into the right field gap. That's going to be down. Is it going to go over top of the fence? It does not. Andrew Maltzby's not holding a second. He's going to make his way into third. He collapses, gets back up. Maltzby will hold there. Got taken down by the turf monster, but Andrew Maltzby's got himself a triple.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. He might have been talking inside the park home run right there if he doesn't take a tumble, but good work right there by Maltzby to step up with 2 outs and put himself in a great position to potentially score here.
He's now 2 for 2, and he turns things over to Cameron Miller. Four runs on 4 hits for Building Champions. They are threatening for more with Maltzby at third.
Yeah, Miller, when he was up in his first at bat, walked and eventually came around to score that second run of the game. The third run of the game. So we're going to see what he's capable of here, trying to send one in himself.
It was a 1-0. Swings through that. One thing I really like about Building Champions uniforms is how big the numbers in the back are.
Yeah, it really is helpful for us. That's
certainly
for sure.
is. Comes Bender with the 1-1 to Miller. Runner at third. Bounces to the catcher.
See what we get on 2-1 from Bender. Seen a lot of fastballs. There's another. And
Miller 95.5, and that
man.
is a rocket off the bat of Miller. He's going to make his way to second. Is he going to hold there? He will. Cameron Miller's got himself an RBI double. Building Champions now up 5-0.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive right there. And what they've done right here with 2 outs to get these runs coming through is absolutely fantastic. Great work right there. Back-to-back extra base hits for the boys.
Polino going out to have a conversation with Bender and trying to just get him to calm down, I think, again.
Yeah.
You've seen some strong moments from him. Again, you get Grant Westfall on strikes, but then we've seen back-to-back extra base hits. So it feels like in moments it seems like Building Champions has his number, but then we've seen some times where he's just sticking with the script and things are working out in his favor.
Yeah, it's very much defense dependent, and this Building Champions team is doing a great job of finding the gaps right now.
Now it'll be Carter Taldo, the center fielder, with 2 down. We'll have the runner at second and Miller off the double. 3 runs in the first inning, 2 so far in the second for Building Champions. A team that I think when you start looking at the makeup of this tournament is one that has a very strong chance to be still in action on Wednesday come championship game.
Definitely, and I think the biggest thing is that they've got the pitching. They've got a ton of arms in this roster that can come up and at least take some good innings, if not come out and have a great start. So obviously you want to conserve your pitching, and you kind of conserve it a little bit with having that game canceled on you as well. You kind of save a pitcher.
Yeah,
so
certainly plays in their favor.
Yeah.
Another throwback
no.
to second. That's to be cut off by the shortstop, though.
I thought that one was headed for the outfield.
Yeah, there was nobody back there.
Yeah, good work to slow it down. But
I still want to see this shovel pass back. I think it will work. I think it works. It's just how good is the pitcher on the location on it.
Yeah, that one's kind of hit off the hands.
Yeah,
there,
Taldo
popped
puts
up.
that into center field, but that's going to be caught, and it's going to end the inning. But Building Champions now is up 5-0 as we move along to the second inning of the 16U National Championship game of the day.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tella's Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Our LakePoint sports photographers take you inside the game here across campus, and now you can not only see our photos, but you can purchase them as well because we've got game day covered. Just use a QR code on screen for the latest images. Galleries uploaded after the completion of tournaments and events. You can also go to LakePointSports.com or any of our social media channels for more information. Welcome back. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. Get our second look at Owen Hughes on the mound after a little bit of a layoff there as his offense built him a 5-0 lead. He's allowed just 1 hit so far. He's slated to see Luke Kusoff, Gabe Carter, and Ryan Lemanowitz as Wladyka baseball tries to respond here in the second. First pitch swinging. Kusoff sends that into center field, but that will be caught for and out into the glove of Carter Taldo.
Yeah, quick outs are going to be a huge key for Owen Hughes on the mound today. We were just talking about trying to conserve pitching before we went to the break, and having a guy like this potentially able to go again in this tournament would be absolutely massive, or if he's able to just knock down this game himself, which is another huge asset that you might have.
Well, I did not ask Building Champions coaches how much yesterday's cancellation altered their pitching plan because, for all we know, Owen Hughes would have pitched yesterday and to have been eligible to come flip around for bracket play. So interested to see pitch count for him. Is he on a strict count? Right now he's thrown just 22 pitches. Did they get him around 50 pitches and then pull him? We'll have to wait and see. Or is he capable of going deep in this game? Obviously dependent on the score. Right now Building Champions leading 5-0. Gabe Carter now at the plate after that Luke Kossoff pop out to center field. Carter out of Glen Ridge, New Jersey. And he will draw a walk, so Carter will be aboard, and here comes Ryan Lemanowitz. Lyndhurst in New Jersey.
And now's the time. If you want to make something happen, this was a great start to this inning for you, outside of obviously the opening fly out. You at least get this runner on with just 1 out, and Wladyka's got a chance to try and start eating into this.
Starts off with ball 1 here to Lemanowitz.
Go out and have a quick conversation.
Maybe they didn't like something there.
Yeah.
After a walk and then a 1-0 count, you wouldn't necessarily expect a mound meeting, especially for a team up 5-0. But no, it looks like Hughes just a moment here to regroup, and he'll be back to work.
Yeah, and when you see the coach and the catcher run out that quickly, you get rightfully concerned. But
That's the MLB equivalent of when the doctor comes running out, and you're just
exactly.
like, oh, what just happened?
Exactly. I think I made this chair shorter in the break.
Ooh, that was vicious.
Yeah, that was mean.
Now a 1-1 count. A runner at first off the walk.
Now I don't feel so short.
There you go.
Good.
Get my one moment. Lewanowitz
that
drops
gonna
that
get
down.
caught?
Oh, it's
Yes,
caught
it
by
is.
the shortstop, Drew Pittman, showing off the glove work. Man, that feels like moment that mattered territory right there. We'll, of course, have our Aspen Hospitality moment that mattered segment for you post-game, along with our Publix player of the game. We've seen some great entries so far into both of those categories. And, man, some great work there at shortstop by Drew Pittman. Now 2 down, as we'll now get a look at Daniel Stutzky.
Whoa. That one looked like got a piece of the helmet.
It did. Okay. All right, so Stutzky aboard via the hit by pitch. We'll now have runners at first and second, one off of a walk, the other off the hit by pitch. So from Stutzky to John Fiore, the center fielder.
Now Owen Hughes just trying to reel back into control. That's been the biggest miss here in the bottom of the second. It's just missing the zone, and then, of course, that hit by pitch.
I think we talk about this all the time, but it's always interesting to me just the comfort level for some pitchers from the windup as opposed to the stretch. And Hughes just looked so good from the windup, and having a little bit of trouble locating here from the stretch as he's now issued a walk, a hit by pitch, and now has a 2-0 count here to Fiore.
Let's see if Wladyka is able to do anything with this scenario. You got 2 outs, but 2 runners on and a 5-run deficit.
Another miss. 3-0 now to Fiore out of Cranford High School in New Jersey. 6 foot, 150-pounder. He was trying to get out of this and keep his team up 5 runs. And that's a strike. Oh, we lost the hat. We haven't seen too much of that
no,
lately.
We haven't.
Typically this time of the year, the humidity,
the
hats fit a little bit tighter. I guess that was not ball 4.
Guess not.
Well, we're inching closer to that territory as Fiore steps back in. He's got runners at first and second, 2 down here, building champions up 5-0 in the second inning.
Yeah, Owen Hughes trying to get things back on track. Gave up the hit in that first inning and nothing else. Now a free pass and a walk that sets him up with an interesting spot.
I think that a strike count will be full.
Big moment here potentially for Wladyka.
Hughes with the payoff pitch to Fiore. That one is in play. Left fielder will watch it go foul. Payoff pitch part 2. Hughes now up to 34 pitches. There's at first and second. He delivers.
Ooh.
Oh, man, got him frozen. Fire up the bat signal. Mr. Freeze makes an appearance. 5-0 is the lead for building champions as Owen Hughes strands 2 runners. Will be back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright. The kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. Building Champions up 5-0 here in the third inning. We'll see Drake Blassie, Warren Robertson, and Drew Pittman at the plate.
Yeah.
They've already got 5 runs on 5 hits against Wladyka.
Yeah, Patrick Bendert continuing on the mound. We've kind of talked throughout his first 2 innings that he's putting the ball over the plate and giving Building Champions a chance to just hit the ball and put something in play. And Building Champions on the other side have done a great job of just hitting it where this defense is not, and they've put up 5 runs via that.
Drew Blassie is hitless. We thought he got hit by a pitch, but it was fouled off, but he will get another opportunity here. Kansas' 6th ranked outfielder in 27 out of Mays High School. Pitch number 43 from Bendert on the day, misses outside. And this certainly, you talk about pitchers who play to contact. This is the time of the year where you have this level of bat that you're going to be facing up and down the lineup at this level of a tournament, and it puts that much more pressure on your defense behind you. Are they up to the task?
Yeah.
Bendert, as you've mentioned, is going to put the ball in a position where these guys can make contact with it. Got a 2-0 count. Make that 3-0.
Just missed. Seemed like both members of the battery there were not necessarily happy with the call, but makes it 3-0. Blassie trying to work another walk.
That will be a strike at 73.5 out of the hands of Bendert. Blassie puts that in play. Second baseman has it, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Yep. Bendert, as I mentioned, ranked as the 3rd baseman, and he's not batting in this game, at least thus far for Wladyka. We got him with exit velos north of 100 miles an hour, bat speed up to 75. So as much as we've seen some composure from him on the mound amid what hasn't been the start I'm sure he envisioned, I would also love to see the bat in this guy's hands.
Yeah, it'd be great to see, and I think Wladyka could use all the help they can get right now at the plate, trying to get past this 5-run deficit.
Warren Robertson, who is 1 for 1 with an RBI, steps in.
Trying to see if he can just get something started for himself here with just 1 out.
Make that 1-1. Bendert takes a breath. Here comes the 1-1. This is low and outside. Now 2-1. Robertson, the 2nd-ranked outfielder in Missouri, a 2025 future gamer. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Counts now 3-1. Did a coffee and curveball shoot yesterday with Shooter Hunt. It was on the Texas Future Game Trials, as we now see the 3-1 here to Robertson. And he'll draw a walk. Texas, one of the few states that has those Future Game Trials. By the way, did you know Texas is going to have 2 different teams this year?
Really?
Yep, they're going to have 2 squads for Texas here at the Future Games. So I would not be surprised as we get a little bit further down for Georgia to start having a Future Game Trials.
Yeah.
I know that Hudson Graham and Ian Smith get a lot of time seeing these guys, especially here on the LakePoint Sports Campus, but it's just such a talent-rich state. I would not be surprised to see Georgia join the fold there in terms of states that have those Future Game Trials events.
Yeah, and when it also comes down to availability, I mean, there's so many extra Georgia guys that end up picking up for other teams, playing for the select team as well. Last year that it'd be kind of surprising if they couldn't put together a second Georgia team of guys that were more than worthy of being there. Back to his usual antics when the runner's on base. Patrick Bendert does not want him to move.
Drew Pittman now at the plate. Drew with a fantastic defensive play in the last inning. Just a great grab at shortstop.
2 good plays from him at shortstop already in this game.
The back pick throw.
Not just Bendert. Everybody's involved.
Yep. Everybody's allergic to base runners in this Wladyka baseball squad. 0-1. Pittman 0-1 on the day so far. .20 count now against Bender. Make that 3-0. Pittman with a big breath. The Blue Valley Southwest 2027.
Another pickoff. Patrick Bender, very glad that there's not a disengagements rule here.
That's right. Pittman, the switch hitter, batting from the left side here against Bender. He's got a 3-0 count. And he draws a walk as well. I feel like the size, speed with these building change, it's like they built these guys in a lab.
Yeah. All of them run a sub 760. They're all 5'10" to 6'2". It's kind of insane.
We've seen 56 pitches for Bender.
And that's going to be the end of the day. We saw Coach give the sign to the bullpen.
All right, so Patrick Bender, today's over. There's going to be a new pitcher for Wladyka baseball. We'll fill you in on that new arm when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tella's Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. We are still waiting on word on the new arm for Wladyka baseball. Again, normally we would have our over-the-shoulder camera angle that would allow us to see that pitcher's number, but we do not have that luxury momentarily here. And those Wladyka numbers a little bit hard to read.
They are
there
hard to read
glare.
with the white numbers on the white jersey.
We'll wait for the scoreboard to update, and then we'll report back with who the new arm is for Wladyka. But they are trailing 5-0 here in the third inning. There's one down. JT Moorhead's at the plate.
And Building Champions has a lineup where it just does not matter where you're at in this lineup. They've got guys that can produce. So
this is Alex Affronti, the 6'2", 185-pound right-hander out of Cranford High School. Also plays third base. Affronti, the 10th batter in the order for Wladyka, so we haven't seen him at the plate yet. All right, runner will make his way back to second. Now we'll be back in motion here. Affronti on the mound against JT Moorhead.
you got the runners on first and second with just one out for Moorhead. So a big spot for him and big spot for Wladyka as well, just trying to get out of this without any more damage done. Having a clean inning is huge when the offense is about to come back up and try and do something here. Pick off the second.
Ooh, so they love those pickoff moves.
Yeah, I think it's just a Wladyka thing to pick off.
Guess on the team name of St. Michael the Archangel Catholic School in Missouri.
Oh, did he get him? Oh, that was real close there on the pickoff to second base. Is it like common? Can I get any kind of hint?
Well, it's a new addition to the MLB team monikers.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
The Guardians.
Okay.
St. Michael the Archangel Guardians.
Okay.
JT Moorhead suits up for them when he's not in travel ball season. So now I should cut to producer Mason and be like, tell him what he would have won.
Nothing.
A brand new car.
There you go. Could have been yours.
Yeah, I'll be good.
Thanks
it's
for
a Hot
playing.
Wheels one, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Hot
true.
Wheels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass.
2-0 count out of Moorhead. Runners at first and second. Franti trying to keep this a 5-run game. Swings through that. Count will be 2-1.
Yeah, Building Champions just kind of needs to keep adding on here if they want to feel a little more confident as they roll on. I mean, 5 runs is 5 runs, but it's not necessarily safe at all times. If you keep rolling here and potentially bring in another run or 2 in this inning, you're going to feel a whole lot better heading into the bottom of the third.
Drops in for a strike. Count will be 2-2. Potential some storms again later today in Metro Atlanta. Kind of been par for the course here these past few weeks. Again, wreaked havoc here at LakePoint Sports last night. Moorhead fouls that off. Hoping it doesn't delay any more of the action here today. Two now, the count to Moorhead.
Well, that one's hit really well.
Yeah, 91.2. It's on its way to left field. Is it going over the fence?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, back.
Oh, no,
it's not.
Oh,
It's
it
at
looked like it did.
It's at the
Man, that was
warning
close.
track. Moorhead's got himself an RBI, though. 6-0 is now the lead for Building Champions. That looked like it was gone, but dies at the warning track. But JT Moorhead comes through with an RBI.
I think I lost it on our Monument Grills advertisement back there on the back wall.
Yeah, that was real close.
Yeah, real close
to being a round tripper, but Moorhead got himself an RBI.
Yet another just big spot where Building Champions hitters come up and show out.
Yeah, I think we've seen 5 balls hit north of 88 miles an hour by Building Champions in this game so far. Aiden Acosta now at the plate. Bishop Carroll, Kansas. And the 3rd-ranked first baseman in Kansas swings through that. He's 32nd overall in the class.
I hate to bring up run rule, but in a 6-0 game, it is relative factor. The magic number that you're probably eyeing right now is 8 after 5 if you're Building Champions. Oh, that one
bounces. Is the runner going to take off? Nope.
Looked like the catcher blocked it up. It just got a little bit away from him. Smart move to hold off there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Polina stops that from going any further. Six runs on 6 hits for Building Champions. Miss from Affronti. Affronti with the 2-1. Swing through that. Count is now even.
I mean, surely you're eyeing that opposite side where second and first base have a major gap, trying to put something to the opposite side.
Pushes that foul. Will remain 2-2. After Acosta, Tucker Gamet is due up. Then it's the top of the order with Grant Westfall. Another foul.
It's been a really good defensive at bat here for Acosta.
Fronting to deliver. We got Jake Posma actually showing up here. So we're going to be joined here momentarily. We're going to make a pitching change here in studio. Swing through that, goes down on strikes, and now be 2 down.
We want to go ahead and make the move?
Yeah, let's go ahead and make the move. Grayson Rosen's going to step out. Jack Posma's going to step in. Jack, how we doing, man? Good to see you. Good. Have a seat. We're live on air, man, so you're just going to take these things and, yeah, rope that in.
Yep.
Joined down by Jack Posma, Kangalosi Sparks, the #1 ranked right-handed pitcher in Illinois, the class of 2028 playing up. Jack, and you've had some travel chaos here, man, but welcome to LakePoint Sports.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So tell me, playing up, what's the mindset going into an event like this?
I mean, I'm just trying to be a sponge, take in all the information and tips I can get from these older guys, and then obviously just leave it all on the field.
You were a 2024 junior feature gamer. You've seen the biggest stages here at LakePoint Sports.
Yeah.
Tell me the excitement level of being here for 16U.
I mean, it's really electric. The atmosphere, all the teams, the coaches, everything here is just amazing. And just future games was great. And then coming back here and being on the same fields is a really cool feeling.
Mentioned the top-ranked right-handed pitcher in Illinois in the class of 2028. You're 3rd overall, number 18 of your position nationally, 87th overall. The fastball around 89.4. Have you popped 90 yet this summer?
Not this summer, but high school season I popped a 9 in our sectional game. So
what was the reaction? Did you know you did it? And then
no,
what was the
I
reaction?
didn't. So after the game, I had a reporter come up to me from the Daily Herald and was like, "Hey, you touched a 90," and I was like, "Oh man, that's sick." So yeah, that was it.
When you've done that already, what becomes the next goal? Is it about command? Do you have a velo number? How do you approach that?
I mean, I'm just trying to keep hitting that 90 consistently, obviously, and then I'm trying to work on my craft with a sinker a lot. I'm trying to perfect that, and then obviously just keep working on location.
We got you at 186. What's the current weight?
Yeah, so right now we're around 190. So we put on 5. So
you kind of get to the point where it's the only way to build velo is to build that lower half. You kind of stretch the arm out. So how much does that kind of come into play for you when you're starting to think about how you continue to develop that lower half to push the velo number?
I mean, just consistent in the weight room is really all I have to do. I got to stick with that, and then the velo will come naturally after getting bigger legs.
We got you slated to pitch Sunday against the New Jersey Pride. Tell me about the pregame routine for you. At what point does that start, and what does it all include?
Yeah, so pregame probably starts around 50, 40 minutes before game. I'll obviously stretch. I'll do some J-bands. And then after a really good rolling out session and stretching session, I'll do plyo balls. I'll get my shoulder really good there, and then I'll go do a light throwing routine. Then I'll mix in long toss, and then I'll start light in the bullpen, and then ramp it up right before the game.
What do you do the night before? Is there something do you do anything in terms of mental stuff? Do you have this is my night before pre-pitch routine?
Yeah, so obviously I try to get a good meal. That's probably number 1 for me. And then I do a mobility series, and then I probably go into a gym or the hotel gym that I'll do tonight, get a bit of arm care in. And then mentally, it's just I just got to imagine me doing what I want to be doing.
We have talked a long time in this broadcast so far about the level of players here. We just had Grant Westfall, the #1 player in Kansas, 4th overall in the nation in the class of 2027 with an RBI double. You know you're going to get some crazy lineups that you got to face in this tournament. How does that change your approach?
I mean, it doesn't change it at all for me. I'm just going to keep my head up and keep pumping the zone. Just make them work, not me, and that's my mindset heading into it.
Also a first baseman, pushing some exit velos, nearly triple digits, bat speed around 76 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a two-way guy, or are you a pitcher who can contribute with the bat in his hand?
I would call myself a pitcher who can contribute with the bat in my hand. Obviously, it'd be really cool to hit a lot more, but I see myself going as a pitcher. farther.
Such a confident mover on the mound. The mechanics just seem so locked in, so repeatable. How much time do you spend focusing on that? Like, because obviously a pitcher, when things go awry, maybe you're not locating a pitch that way you want to that day. Maybe you kind of start to make some changes. How do you kind of stop yourself from doing that and saying, this is my process, this is my mechanics, and I need to stay locked in?
Yeah, well, I have a pitching coach, obviously, at BSF in Bensonville, and whenever I, like, struggle with an outing or I struggle with, like, a certain pitch, I'll go in there, I'll talk to him, and then it's really just, like, getting the movement down. So I'll work on that during, like, throwing my plyo balls. Obviously, during a super light bullpen, I'll just work on consistently getting that move down.
Barrington High School 2028. Tell me about this past season. What did you learn about yourself at the high school level?
Oh, man, I really learned that I can compete with a lot of people because personally heading into that season, I didn't think I could compete with a bunch of these guys. But then I think I got to close the opening day and I struck out my first high school opponent. And I think that's just what opened up the doors for me.
And that's probably a kind of moment that's going to stay. You're going to remember that moment forever.
I will remember that forever.
You didn't ask for the ball, did you?
No.
No, you don't do that at the high school level?
No. He gave it to me.
Okay.
I didn't ask for it, but the coach gave it to me.
Who have you kind of looked up to in terms of pitchers as you developed yourself and your arsenal and how you carry yourself?
Oh, man, looked up. I mean, I've looked up to my junior friend that was on the team, Will Renshaw. His craft was just amazing. Like, he didn't throw super hard. He got the Monday slot. I got the Wednesday, so I was always following after him, and that's just been the mindset. Just try to do the craft that he's up to.
When we talk about long-term goals on the mound, I know obviously you're thinking about that high school career and taking that on to the next level.
Yeah.
Do you allow yourself to kind of get caught up in thinking about what's coming next, or how do you stop? Like, because you obviously see the rankings, you see that, and the expectation is, okay, I watch the rankings for the older guys. I start to see that commitment pop up next to everybody. How do you stop yourself from kind of getting caught up in all that?
I mean, really, like, at the end of the day, I'm 15. It's not like no coach is going to be calling me that night and being like, hey, do you want to come here? So that's kind of the mindset there. But, I mean, it's once in a while you get caught up and you're like, oh, man, like all these dream schools, it'd be really cool. But then you just got to remember that, like, you're younger and, like, no one's watching every game right now.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get caught up in seeing the numbers and seeing all this stuff, and we forget that, you guys are just kids.
Yeah.
So what are you still doing then that's still like, hey, I'm still a kid. This is the I'm not. My whole life's not baseball.
Oh, man. So, I mean, I can't drive yet, so there's a lot of walking around and biking. So that's obviously one of them. Just texting the friends and, like, working out with them, hanging out with them. It's, like, not all business yet. So, I mean, it's just really fun going to, like, the pool with all the friends during the summer.
What's the best thing you've watched recently?
Oh, best thing I've watched recently. Netflix movie Gran Turismo.
Okay.
It's actually really good. I'm into action, so it was solid. It was fun.
So are you not getting the whole summer movie thing with all the Marvel stuff and all that? Are you on board with those?
Yeah, I'm not sure about Marvel, but I mean, I'm really into John Wick.
Okay, I love that.
Guy,
yeah. Okay.
So John Wick is a great movie series.
Okay, so you got to go back then. You got to watch all the old Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff.
Yeah.
And Sylvester Stallone. Has your dad gotten you on board watching the old action movies?
Not yet. We watched a couple of the old Batman movies, but that's probably the oldest we've gone so far.
Okay, yeah, you got to go back. You got to watch all the Terminator movies, all the Rambo stuff. If you're an action guy, we got to get you on board for that. All right, he is Jack Posma out of Illinois, playing for Kangalosi Sparks here at the 16U National Championships. Jack, man, thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
We're going to take a break here in studio. We'll be back with more from the 16U National Championship.
Power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Telus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. Jack Posma was absolutely great, so we'll have that across all of our social channels. Appreciate him stopping by on his way to Kangaloosie Sparks game. We've got an 8-0 lead for Building Champions. Having some technical difficulties with our camera system. We will rejoin you as soon as we can with game action from LakePoint Sports.
1.
And we're back. Our action continues. Warren Robertson back at the plate for Building Champions. They lead 8-0, and we've got a massive bug in here visiting us in the studio, and he's now made his way through. Jack Postma, appreciate him stopping by for a little while. Back at it, Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen. With you, Warren Robertson is 1 for 1.
You got runner on second base. Looks like Blossy. I only say that because the sleeves are pulled up, and I can see those muscles that we were talking about earlier. He looks jacked out there at second base.
Tyler O'Neill-esque.
Yeah, very Tyler O'Neill. I think he's a lefty, too.
Yeah, but I was watching the Netflix docuseries they did on the Red Sox last night. And,
incredible stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and you'd see that first episode, O'Neill hits a home run on opening day for the 5th straight year, and he's just so fired up. And that series is an absolute must-watch.
That is one of the craziest streaks. Opening day home runs.
Robertson pops up. Has anybody got it?
It didn't look like it.
They did catch
Somebody
it.
Caught it.
New catcher, so that's no longer Jeffrey Polino behind the plate. So the new catcher for
Mitchell
Wladyka
Levinson.
Baseball. Yep, Mitchell Levinson makes the catch for the second out. So now 2 down. Building Champions up 8-0. Apologize for our technical difficulties. Just one of those unfortunate things that can happen here when you rely so much on tech to bring you these broadcasts. Drew Pittman now, the shortstop, steps in. He's 0 for 1.
Oh, caught the corner there. It's the first strike. Really just damage control right now for Wladyka, especially with the 2 outs and the runner in scoring position.
One bounces. Count will be 1-1. Fronte delivers. Misses high. Count will be 2-1. After Pittman, it's JT Moorhead. I hope that's not the same bug that I just saw go across in front of the camera. He's intent on getting on this broadcast.
Turned on.
Pittman shoots that down the right side. That's going to be extra bases. Here comes 1 run for Building Champions.
No, it got caught.
Oh, it did get caught. Oh, wow. What a catch in right field. We had Gabe Carter penciled in playing right field and caught it nearly right over by us in the studio there.
Real close.
On the right side on field 12. Kept Building Champions off the scoreboard. They continue to lead 8-0. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Rivera, and then Big Papi. I have to go Acuna, Chris Sale, Mike Trout, Babe Ruth.
David Ortiz, Ted Williams, Chipper Jones, and Mickey Mantle.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Do you like the correlation there? We go from Mount Rushmore to Monument Grills.
Look at that.
Yeah.
A monument in its own right.
That's right.
Now a monumental lead that Building Champions has in this game, 8-0. Heading into the bottom of the 4th. Just a friendly reminder of the 8 after 5 run rule. So
while we were away, Owen Hughes exited, and Cameron Miller has been pitching for Building Champions. He's out for his 2nd inning of work. He struck out 2 in his first outing in the 3rd, so he's back out for the 4th now, and will be facing off against the top of the order. So Aiden Costello, Baxter Hilton, and Mitchell Levinson. Just 1 hit so far for Wladyka baseball.
holds off on that one for the ball to open it up.
Miller's got a arsenal, a fastball around 87. He's got a changeup, 77 to 78, a curveball in the 71-77 range, a slider that is 74 to 77. He's got a 2-0 count now against Aiden Costello, the leadoff hitter for Wladyka baseball. Make that 2-1 off that strike. Actually, I think we were, this is Baxter Hilton, so our scoreboard was just a little off at the moment. So Hilton now at the plate out of Seton Hall Prep. 27th ranked right-handed pitcher in New Jersey. 134 overall in the state.
Yeah, he's now got a 2-2 count with no outs. You can see what Miller's got. Try and see if he's got some more of that strikeout stuff that we didn't get the chance to see in the bottom of the third. Not there.
Eight runs, 8 hits for building champions thus far. Wladyka baseball searching for a breakthrough, just 1 hit so far. And they'll have a leadoff walk. Hilton makes his way down to first, and now Mitchell Levinson's turn.
Seen some great stuff out of Wladyka when it comes to throwing the bat back towards the dugout.
Yeah. Maybe they practice it.
Maybe it's something the coach really stresses.
That's an unpracticed part of the game.
Yeah. Levinson fouls off the first pitch there.
Levinson, Seton Hall Prep 2027. Got an 0-1 count, runner first. Trying to get something going here for Wladyka baseball in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Ooh, great pitch right there.
Makes it 0-2. Miller fires. Oh, a hit off the edge of his bat, just off the knob.
It's kind of crazy how often that does happen.
It really is.
It is a really small surface to be hitting off of, but it does happen more often than you'd think.
Oh, wow. I don't think we were ready for that pitch.
Yeah. Turned up the heat for sure, but I don't think anybody was ready for that one. 85-3. And nobody was ready.
All right, Miller delivers.
Well, hit well,
shoots that 83.5. Yep, and will go foul down the third base side. So count remains 0-2. Miller delivers.
That one's hit.
Yeah, he shoots that down the left side, 89.2 off his bat.
It's foul again.
Foul again. A couple rockets down the left side for Hilton. Excuse me, Hilton. Levinson. Hilton's at first base. Our scoreboard is a tad behind, so it's actually showing the previous batter, so it's tripped me up a little bit there. Mitchell Levinson steps back in. 2 hard hit balls down the third base side.
Now let's see what Cameron Miller's got.
Another one.
Good one.
This one's in its way to center field, and that will be caught. Runner will retreat to first. So now 1 down off the Levinson pop out, and here comes Jeffrey Polino. Polino was the opening catcher, stayed in the lineup after a position change. Levinson was the extra hitter, so he and Polino just switching spots. Polino shows bunt, gets that down, dives in the batter's box.
Yeah. It was really, really close to getting fair, but not necessarily where you want to put a bunt.
And that thing just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah. Do we feel like down 8-0, small ball is the approach, and he just picked him off neither of them were looking, so he's safe.
Yeah, I feel like the home plate umpire was looking at the batter, waiting for the batter to get back in the box and missed the pickoff move. So field umpire rules him safe, and we'll continue with the runner at first and 1 down. You know, I think at this point for Wladyka baseball, it's by any means necessary. And
Okay. I was not expecting that, but he goes on the back pick and makes it safely.
All right, nice job base running there from
Baxter
Hilton. He'll be standing at second base now with 1 down here for Polino. Miller's got an 0-2 count, runner at second, 1 down.
Great pitch right
Polino
there.
Goes through that, make it 3 strikeouts for Miller.
Yeah, the strikeout stuff looks really good for him right now, and now with 2 outs, just that runner on second base, he's trying to keep things at bay here with the 8-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th.
So as Polino goes down on strikes, Luke Kossoff is now up. Kossoff swings through that. Kossoff from that powerhouse Don Bosco prep. I know you love to look up alumni of high schools. I would certainly recommend doing so for Don Bosco prep. We've got an 0-1 count here to Kossoff. 6'4", 185-pound lefty. Yeah, I would imagine the athlete portion of things will be excruciatingly long.
It is very. I'll try and play the hits here. Tommy DeVito for those. That's the hits. Let's see.
Comes the 1-1 to Kossoff. Make that 2-1.
Ron Harper Jr. and Dylan Harper.
Yep. I urge you to look a little bit further down into the ends.
I know. I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there. Matt Hennessy, offensive lineman for the Falcons for a number of years.
That's a strike. Goes down on strikes. Another strikeout for Miller. Excuse me, that makes it 2-2. I thought that was strike 3. Counts now 2-2. This not having that extra camera angle is messing with me.
It is throwing us off just a little bit here, but we'll see if Miller's got what it takes to finish the 4th inning.
All right, he's already got 3 strikeouts.
Okay, well, before he throws it, I'll get that last name in that you were alluding to. It's C.J. Nitkowski.
Yeah, friend of the program. C.J. Nitkowski, his son Luke, obviously been a fixture here for the last few years, playing for Georgia Jackets, Creekview High School. 2-2 count here for Miller. And that one is sent back foul. An impressive list, though. I mean, it's
Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, Don Bosco Prep, a powerhouse in New Jersey, without question. Luke Kossoff trying to be one of those next guys. He's got a full count now here against Cameron Miller.
See if Cameron Miller can muster up some more of that strikeout stuff that he'd been showing throughout this outing.
And here is the payoff pitch. Kossoff puts it in play. His second baseman has it, throws in time. That'll strand a runner. Building Champions continues to have a shutout on their hands, leading 8-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tellus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
We have an 8-0 lead for Building Champions over Wladyka Baseball in our pool play. Game of the day from the 16U National Championship. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. JT Moorhead due up for Building Champions, followed by Aiden Acosta and Tucker Gamet. 8 runs on 8 hits for Building Champions thus far. Franti back on the mound for Wladyka Baseball. Missed to start off against Moorhead, who was 1 for 1.
Going to see if Moorhead can kind of keep this good game alive that he's had so far. Scored himself a run and hit in a run.
Counts now 2-0.
A lost lid. It's over at field 12.
Yeah. One of our United umpires stopping by to say hello. Missed. Count's not going to be 3-1. Trying to get in the shot.
You can get a little further.
Yeah, you got to angle in there. There we go. Yeah, I got the shades on. That one's going foul. Count is now 2-2. Always enjoy the guys stop by on their way back to the umpire shack. He didn't have the gray shirt on, though.
No, he didn't. He didn't. Probably hotter.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. Is it cooling shirts? Is it tank tops? I can't imagine anybody's going to see
Big
that, though.
swing and
Goes
miss.
down on strike, so Moorhead strikes out. Francie's shown some swing and miss stuff here for Wladyka Baseball. He's now got 3 strikeouts.
And like we've kind of said these last couple of innings, the pitching for Wladyka, you're just kind of playing damage control right now and hoping that your offense can come up in the bottom of this inning and extend this game for you, because once again, you're staring that 8-run rule after 5 dead in the face.
Aiden Acosta is 0 for 1 as he steps back in. Also has a strikeout. I believe he got hit by a pitch. He also has a run in his hands. He's got a hit. As that one's going to get into the glove of the left fielder as it skips past the left side of the infield. So a 1-out single for Aiden Acosta. That's hit number 9 for Building Champions. Now Tucker Gamet, the last batter in the order, with Grant Westfall, the leadoff hitter, looming. He's 2 for 3 already.
Yeah, Gamet 0 for 1 with a walk. So just try and get yourself on base and set up Grant Westfall again. It seems like a recipe for success.
And Franti, his first offering to Gamet, swings through that for a strike. Lot to like in a Franti.
Yeah, he's got a lot to work with here up on the mound and doing a good job of finding the zone. He does have 2 walks to his name, but I think he's done a good job just staying up there and staying composed.
Jeffrey Polino is back behind the mound for Wladyka Baseball. Mitchell Levinson was in that spot last inning. Polino back behind the plate.
Yeah, these catchers, just especially in heat like this, you're going to want to give them a break, whether that be maybe a day off during the tournament or giving them an inning or 2 to just kind of recollect, rehydrate, and relax for a minute. You see that aggressive lead. Doesn't look aggressive yet, but you're going to see him take a huge secondary and really make this Wladyka team think.
The 0-1 will go foul. Makes it 0-2.
We saw some great base running from Acosta the last time he reached. Going to see if he can repeat that. A lot of looks back there.
Sure is. Miss makes it 1-2. Polino hold on to that one. I think he's kind of frustrated with himself for not making the pick-back throw.
It's just so risky.
Yeah.
It really is, and you can ill afford building champions to add more runs on the board.
Well, goes off speed, but he misses. Count will be 2-2. I think we should be. We're supposed to be seeing building champions. As you can see here as our scoreboard.
Wladyka, perfect amount of letters.
Yeah. DeFronti with the 2-2 here to Gamut. Bounces. There's the back pick throw. Did not
Looks like
get him though. Yeah, it's
him.
going into right field. Acosta's going to make his way into second. If you remember Acosta's last time, he was standing at second base, and on the second attempt on that throw to second, it went into center field, and Acosta winds up going around to score.
See what Gamut's got here. He's had a good at bat so far, battling back from down 0-2.
Gamut puts it in play. The shortstop has it, throws the third, but it's going to get away from the third baseman. Acosta is going to hit the bag. He's going to go all the way home. The throw is going to be tall. They get him at second base. They did. A run did score for building champions, though, as Acosta crosses the plate, but Gamut thrown out at second, trying to take advantage of the throw home.
Yeah, once again, some incredible base running from Aiden Acosta right there. Wow. Tough to get that second out that way, but you're certainly happy that you added a run on the board there.
Well, much to Grant Westfall's chagrin, he now steps to the plate with the bases clear. Thought he was going to have another run in scoring position, but the nation's fourth-ranked player nonetheless will come to the plate with 2 down. He is 2 for 3 today as an RBI. It's the first pitch foul.
Maybe he just wants to hit another ground rule double.
He did so in his first trip to the plate. He delivered an RBI in his second AB.
See what he's got here. The 0-1 count.
Sends that foul. Yeah, Westfall's day. Ground rule double, strikeout, RBI double.
Yeah, that'll work. And if you look at the scoreboard, it's getting the job done.
For a team that now leads 9-0 with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Westfall down 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Trying to reignite the flame for building champions, but regardless, they go into it with Wladyka with their backs against the wall in the bottom of the 5th.
Franti delivers, misses outside. Franti with that high glove set up. Comes a 1-2. Westfall does put it in play. It's on its way into the left side. Is that going to drop down? Did we have a fantastic catch in left field?
Did it get dropped? It got dropped.
It got dropped. So Grant Westfall it did get caught. Okay, man, we had some craziness in left field.
Looks like you might have.
We had a collision.
Yeah,
but it was caught as Grant Westfall is out, and it brings an end to the inning. But man, nice defensive effort there in left field for Wladyka baseball as they're able to rob Grant Westfall of extra bases for the 3rd time today. They trail, though, 9-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Can Wladyka baseball extend this game? We'll find out when we come back from LakePoint Sports. field of 172 teams have descended upon LakePoint Sports for the 16U National Championship. We're bringing you our game of the day between Building Champions and Wladyka Baseball. Building Champions has taken a 9-0 lead. They've got 10 hits so far. Wladyka Baseball, 1 hit thus far as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A key inning, if they are to avoid a run rule and extend this game, they'll send Gabe Carter to the plate, followed by Ryan Lemanowitz and then Daniel Stutzky. New pitcher on the mound for Building Champions as Miller exits, and now we're going to get a look at Hayes Pratt, a 2022 junior feature gamer out of Park Hills High School in Missouri. 6th ranked lefty in Missouri, 46th overall in the class of 2027. And Grayson, if you're Building Champions right now, the only thing better than a run rule win is one in which you've got a 0 in the run differential side for the opposition, and they are trying to finish that off here as they are up big in the 5th.
Yeah, definitely. And we mentioned it early in the broadcast a couple of times that Building Champions didn't play yesterday, and that game was canceled. So the way that that's going to affect them when it comes to winning their pool potentially and how they're going to be seeded for bracket play, it's a big deal to get a 9-0 shutout victory potentially because that ball's down.
Yeah, Gabe Carter drops that down for the 2nd hit today for Wladyka Baseball. He's going to hold there. Throws cut off by the catcher.
It was a bit of a tough throw coming in, but good work just getting to it and playing some good backup there and getting the ball in and stopping that from becoming extra bases.
Yeah, Gabe Carter showing Wladyka Baseball will not go quietly. They've got 1 aboard here in the 5th inning, and now Ryan Lemanowitz steps in. Second hit today for Wladyka Baseball, trying to get something going here in the 5th as Lemanowitz swings through that for strike 1. I think you love to see that, right? You look up at the scoreboard, and you certainly, as a coach, and parents don't want to see a team going through the motions, and Wladyka Baseball not doing that as they were able to get Gabe Carter aboard to start off this inning.
Yeah, they're not giving up, and that's a great way to just give yourself some confidence. And when you play confidently, you're going to see results, and this is going to help you out.
And this is a long tournament, and this is not as that.
That was real close.
That was really close.
That was really close.
These teams with a lot more baseball ahead of them throughout this event. Again, this will stretch on for some teams all the way into Wednesday.
Particularly 4 teams.
Yeah. But Wladyka Baseball still has games tomorrow against Canes Midwest Gold. Monday they've got API Cavaliers.
Popped up to the pitcher.
Pratt has that for the first out. Wladyka on Thursday played Great Lakes 2027. They lost that game 4-3. Then they were 4-0 winners over Team 24 Black. Today, obviously, trailing Building Champions 9-0. And then they'll have, again, Canes Midwest Gold on Sunday and API Cavaliers on Monday.
2 outs here with the runner on first. If Building Champions wants this thing to be over soon, they can get the double play. Otherwise, try and get the out at the plate with Stutzky.
Stutzky from Glen Rocks High School in New Jersey, 5'11", 175-pounder. Trying to move Gabe Carter along. Sends that foul.
There's a Glen Ridge and a Glen Rock. Glen Ridge where Gabe Carter goes. Glen Rock where Stutzky goes.
There you go. Pratt delivers. Stutzky jumps on that, headed into left field. It's going to be caught, though, as Gabe Carter will retreat with 2 down. We started the conversation around Owen Hughes, wondering how deep is he going to go. Obviously, an arm like that, you want to have the potential to bring him back later in the tournament. He threw just 35 pitches.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see him again if Building Champions gets themselves deep into a tournament run here and tries to make something happen in bracket play. He looked phenomenal, and we're going to most likely see some more of him.
Wladyka baseball's hopes go down to John Fiore with 2 down. Gabe Carter remains at first base.
See if Hayes Pratt can get things done here for Building Champions and dust off a 9-0 victory. Or will Wladyka put up a fight here with just 2 outs? And
Pratt's got him down. Yeah, Pratt's got him down to their last strike now.
Need 2 runs to extend this game. Down to your final strike.
Swing, miss, game ender. Hayes Pratt slams the door. Building Champions are 9-0 winners over Wladyka baseball, and they get themselves a key pool play victory, especially after getting a day off Friday. We'll be back with more as we talk Aspen Hospitality, moment that matters in our Publix Player of the Game as we return from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Welcome back. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. 9-0 win for Building Champions over Wladyka baseball. And Grayson, just let's see, giving away the lead here, so we're going to get into somebody named Grant here in a little bit. But Grayson, Building Champions had a day off on Friday. They came out and were explosive offensively, 9 runs on 10 hits, and they were backed by a pitching staff that was more than up to the task.
Yeah, every single aspect, it just seemed like they showed up. We saw great pitching on the mound from all 3 pitchers that came out, and then obviously the hitters just throughout the lineup. Just about everybody had a hit. So everybody showing up for Building Champions is nothing new. I mean, they're here every summer, and they do fantastic stuff every year at every age group. So it's kind of a little bit of the usual from them.
Yeah, a lineup that I mentioned, both 16 players ranked in Kansas and Missouri, 3 with national rankings, 5 2025 future gamers on this team, and they absolutely came up to show out and get the win as part of our IHG Hotels and Resorts Summer Showstoppers weekend. Let's get on to our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters in this 9-0 win for Building Champions. We go to the top of the second where Cameron Miller jumps on a fastball, delivers an RBI double to make it 5-0. Total, we saw 6 extra base hits from Building Champions in this one. Miller coming through with the blow off of the fastball. And next up is JT Moorhead, who jumps on a fastball himself, delivers an RBI double. We nearly thought this one was going to be gone. That's back up against the warning track. That's going to score another run to make it 6-0. So 2 entries there in our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that mattered for a lineup that just was delivering extra base hits in bunches.
Yeah, and Miller, that double that we showed in the first one, comes off the heels of a 2-out triple with the bases empty. It gets them a run on the board. So great work just getting something started there.
Yeah, impressive without question. And speaking of impressive, let's go on to our Publix player of the game. Grant Westfall had a ground rule double in his first AB, an RBI double in the third, and if not for a miraculous play in his last AB in left field, would have had extra bases again. The 4th-ranked player in the class of 2027 was just fantastic.
Yeah, one of the best players in the nation, getting this game off to a huge start with that ground rule double. Comes around, scores the first run of the game for Building Champions, and then everything just keeps going from there. He really set the tone in this one, and then, like you mentioned, that RBI double in the third at bat, just a cherry on top for his performance.
Yeah, big players come up at big times, and Grant Westfall most certainly did that to help his team get a 9-0 win over Wladyka baseball. We'll have our Publix Player of the Game interview with him on all of our social media channels, so make sure you check that out, and it might even be something in there Publix-wise for Grant as that one goes along, so always a lot of fun there. We had a great time today on today's broadcast, and we'll be picking it up on Wednesday for our 16U National Championship Final, so make sure you join us for that one. It's scheduled for 11:20 a.m. on Wednesday, so make sure you join us for that one. It'll be available, as all these broadcasts are, for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So until then, for Grayson, Rosen, and producers Mason Monroe and Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.